none of that get on. I ain't even hit record. And I cut the broadcast off like an idiot. So, now we sit back and we look at this here now. We know the Passover lamb got to be taken and killed on the 14th day at evening. That means that same night they got to kill this lamb. Then this lamb got to be a firstborn male, no blemish, no spot. You can't go to the grocery store and get that. You go buy a lamb from the grocery store. What do you know if that lamb came from? How do you know if it's male or female? How do you know if it had any spots or blemishes in it? How do you know if it was a firstborn male or if it was a sixth child? You don't even know. Now we just heard Revelation 3 and 14. He said he's the beginning of the creation of God. That means he's the firstborn of all creation. For as much as you know you were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain behavior received by tradition from your fathers, but with precious blood of Hamashiach as of a lamb without spot, without blemish, and without spot. You know, everybody know the one to Exodus 4 and 22. Yisrael is my firstborn. Yisrael is power to rule as God. Israel wasn't his firstborn. How could Israel be his firstborn? It couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. Because the name was given to Jacob. And before Jacob came, Isaac had to come. And before Isaac came, Abraham had to come. And before Abraham came, guess who had to come before that? Noah, all the way back down to Adam. So Adam would have been his firstborn. How would Jacob be his firstborn? How would the progeny of Jacob be his firstborn? That lets you know that can't be about Jacob. Now also sit back and show you something else that we looked at not too long ago. Thank the Lord. Remember we were looking at how Adam was marred, the first Adam was marred, right? So that shows you, right, there was a defect in that first Adam. That means this wasn't my firstborn because there was something wrong with him. He said I had to make another vessel seem good unto me. Again showing you Yahshua was his firstborn because it goes back to Genesis 1 and 3. Let that be light. That's my firstborn. You niggas ain't. Niggas gotta stop thinking everything about them. Well, sit back and rock about a whole lot of people. People just a big old slut right on every corner. And I'm talking about you, my firstborn. That's just nigga talking. So let's look at what John chapter 1 verse 29 says. Let's see what John the Baptist said about the Lord when he seen him. Now we established he was out without blemish. Then we need to see also if he was a lamb. Then we need to see if he was a man child. Because he said he's supposed to eat this flesh. So then we need to see how that pertains why we ain't eating no lamb on the first day. John 1:29. And the next day John seeth Yahshua coming unto him and saith, Behold, the Lamb of God, which take away the sin of the world. When we go from John chapter 8, what did Yahshua say in John chapter 8 about sin? What did he say? Jimmy, what did he say in John chapter 8 about verse 34 about sin? Don't none of y'all know what he said in John chapter 8 verse 34 about sin? Well, let me tell you what he said in John chapter 8 verse 34 about sin. He said, He that commits sin is the servant of sin, and the servant abide in the house forever. But if the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Which means if you commit sin, you captive to sin. Now he just said this, the Lamb of God was come to take away the sins of the world. Well, when you sit back and look at the Passover lamb being sacrificed, that wasn't to remove sin, but to deliver the people from captivity. To remove the people from captivity. To remove the people from captivity. What you think Yahshua was coming to do? Deliver you from captivity. What I'm sitting around here trying to eat some lamb for? You got to be dumb. We're going to show you. Let's look at Matthew chapter 21. We're going to drop down to verse 34. And let's just read that again. Let's read that too in this same chapter of John chapter 1. And it says, and again, the next day after John stood and two of his disciples in the land, he said, I saw and bear record that this is the Son of God. And again, after the next day after John stood and two of his disciples and looking upon Yahshua as he walked, behold, he said, Behold the Lamb of God, and the two disciples heard him speak, they followed Yahshua. So again, he told them, this is the lamb that's going to free you from captivity. Because the only time that they hear this, the Lamb of God, that's the only thing going to come under their mind. What else would they bring synonymous with a lamb for? What else in this book would a lamb be important? Passover, what? We right here by Luke, so let's look at Luke chapter 1. Let's see if he a man-child or not. Because he got to be a male. Luke 1 and 31. Lord have mercy. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahshua. So now he established that he's a firstborn son. He's a lamb without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. All right, Will. And he was killed on the 14th day of evening. Now, let's sit back and let's see something in John chapter 6, verse 54, of what this man said out of his mouth. Now, y'all do know what John 1 and 14 say. Who know what John 1 and 14 say? Y'all gotta help me out, man. It's like give and take, like when you're dealing with a comedian, when you got a punchline, it's like give and take. Now, who know what John 1? I'm making it easy for you to tell you where it's at. You can flip over and read it. Who know what John 1 and 14 say? What was the word made? Well, the word was made flesh. So let's see what Yahshua say here in John chapter 6, verse 53. Maybe 51. He said, I am the living bread which come down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. The bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. The Jews therefore strove amongst themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Then Yahshua said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoso eat my flesh and drink my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eat my flesh and drink my blood dwell in me, and I in him. This man just told you his flesh was meat. John the Baptist just said this man was the Lamb of God. You were supposed to eat lamb on the 14th day of eating. And let's see what happened in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, what these men did here. Verse 23. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahshua, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, take, eat. This is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. Everyone said, do this in remembrance of me, right? And after the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this is the cup of the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he come. Come on back to Exodus chapter 12. So this man said, every time you eat this bread or eat this lamb, you doing this as a memorial for Passover when you were delivered out of bondage. Let's see what the law says and see if he fulfilled it. Niggas just ought to put the book down and go get a day job or something. Man, go swap mop floors or something. Go be a general. Because you're pure garbage. Exodus chapter 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night. I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt will I execute judgment. I am Yah, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to Yah throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by ordinance. Now ain't that something that Yahshua is an offering of a sacrifice that's eternal and continual for you to keep it forever? And every time he said you eat of this bread and drink this blood, you do show my death till I get back here. So what you doing eating a lamb for? Makes absolutely no sense now, does it? Makes none. None whatsoever. Because if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it. See, we're going to read all of it. If you get the lamb, you got to take that lamb out. You got to kill it on the 14th day. You got to roast him whole. You got to roast him whole. Can't take none of his insides out. Gotta roast him whole now. You gotta salt him with bitter herbs. You gotta roast him with fire, and you gotta eat the whole thing. I'm talking about with his hands and his legs, everything in it. You gotta do all of that. You gotta do all of that. Why do you think when Yahshua gave him that bread, you say, well, when they hit him in the side, his insides came out. That's why he had him eat that bread and that wine before that happened. They ate him whole. He was roasted with fire. He was roasted with the furnace of affliction. He had bitter herbs. He had that sorrow, what we were talking about on Sabbath day. He did all of that. I know a dude that don't eat no lamb, but he said you got to have the bitter herbs. Bitter herbs for what? The bitter herbs only pertain to the lamb. And if you don't eat lamb, then you got to do it exactly how he said do it. Or you won't. And if you got Yahshua, what are you doing that for? Who remembers in the law? Some of y'all were not here. I know a majority of y'all were not here when we went through it. Who knows where this lined up at in the law about this lamb being a continual sacrifice before God continually? It's right there in the law. And the video named after right what's in the law too. It's over. A lot of y'all went around. We went through this last year about this time. Look at Numbers chapter 28. Niggas miss all type of stuff. That's why I don't be stepping none of these dudes, man. These niggas want to get on Facebook and type a whole dissertation. I ain't got time for it. You can holler at me. Now look what he said in verse 1 of Numbers chapter 28, and then we're going to move on from this matter. We're going to move right on along from this matter. This is all we're going to do. That's just it. Any of y'all was wondering why we don't eat no lamb on the first day of unleavened bread. That's why. You will lamb on the second through the 8th day, which I don't think Little Muffin got that on the menu. You can eat whatever you want. I don't care nothing about it. You won't do it the first day though. We got sense. Then we'll look at John chapter 4 verse 20 after we get finished with this right here. And y'all speaking to Moses saying, command the children of Israel. Listen what it say now. Somebody speaking too loud. And say unto them, my offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire, for a sweet savor unto me. Ye shall observe to offer unto me in their due season. So he said, in their due season, you should make this offering unto me. I want you to look at Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 right there. Hold this Numbers chapter 28 and your John chapter 4. Listen what he said. He said these offerings are a sweet savor. Boy, lack of understanding is a dangerous thing. Ephesians 5:1. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as Hamashiach also loved us, and has given himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor. So when we come back to Numbers chapter 28, didn't he just say that this offering and sacrifices of his bread that was made by fire was for a sweet savor and you had to do it in the season? Well, let's look and see what verse 3 of Numbers chapter 28 say, and let's see what he asked for an offering. He said, you shall say unto them, this is the offering made by fire which you shall offer unto y'all. 2 lambs, not 2 lambs. And let's see what they got in common. Of the first year, without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering. The one lamb shall thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shall thou offer in the at even. Well, let's see what else he said needs to be offered. Let's look at about verse, we'll keep on going down about verse 6. It's all by the Bible. And it is a continual burnt offering. I'm sorry, verse 5. And the 10th part of ephah flour for an offering. There goes into meat offering. Mingled with the 4th part of the hin of beaten oil. What happened to Yahshua before they killed him? He said this was beaten oil. What happened to Yahshua? He was beaten. Hold on what you got. Go to Exodus chapter 27, about verse 18. Exodus chapter 27, about verse 18. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 50 cubits of twined linen, and their sockets of brass. And all the vessels of the tabernacle, and all the servants thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. Thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil. He said you gotta beat it so it can bring light within the house with the veil down. Hold on. Which is before the testimony, Aaron and his son shall order from evening to morning before Yah. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on behalf of the children of Israel. So hold on, Numbers 28. And let's go see how this olive, or this pure oil olive, was beaten to cause a lamp to burn always. Before we even get to that, let's just make sure that Yahshua is the lamp. Let's just do that first. Genesis chapter 15. This ain't never bringing stuff to mind. Y'all already should know. Genesis chapter 15, verse 17. And you know, niggas want to argue and go back and forth with me. I told niggas, just call me, man. We ain't got to do all that. Golden said, all he wanted to get on was how I was spelling the Lord's name. It's all you focus on. You missing completely everything I'm talking about. And then I'm going to ask y'all a question, see who remember other men. Why y'all ain't supposed to name yourself Israel? Why you ain't supposed to put Israel in your name? That means power to rule is God. Who the only 3 men in this book ever had that name? And Jacob. Just like we done already learned, the Lord done let us see. Why ain't none of these men, why ain't nobody in the book ever get themselves? Why you can't read nowhere in the book nobody got the name Israel? Nobody. Yeah, he gave Noah that for it, but he ain't giving that completely. He only gave him that afterwards. That's something I've been wanting to show y'all for a little minute. He made Noah God, though, because he told them all fear and dread of the whole earth would be on him when they saw him. But we'll say that, though. I've been holding that for about a month. But you ain't wrong. He did make Noah God, but he didn't have complete dominion like Adam and Yahshua had. But you still, you on the right track, though. I can't be mad at you. You ain't even know I've been holding that. Y'all be surprised how much stuff I've been holding. You'll think I will contemplate. Number 15 to 17. Genesis 15 to 17. He said, it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. So when we talk about a burning lamp passing between those pieces, what that mean, y'all? Give me 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 4. One of those 2 pieces, this burning lamp is in the middle of. Y'all folks already know. We done went through it before. And not too long ago. I know some of y'all women sitting there skimming and grinning because you like, oh, I know. It's bigger than just knowing if you're not applying this stuff. Don't get happy because you know something. The Lord will let you know something. You still go to hell because you ain't living right. Well, we're going to see what that lamp is between 2 pieces. 1 Kings chapter 15. Make it verse 1. And now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned Abijam over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Machah, the daughter of Absalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with Yah his God, as the heart of David his father. That's what a lot of y'all calling me is. Y'all heart's not perfect before God. Y'all already do it. We done read it before in Revelation chapter 3. When Yahshua said, matter of fact, let's just look at it. Revelation chapter 3. We still holding Numbers chapter 28. Still holding Exodus 27. We just let the Lord work out how you want to work it. Revelation chapter 3, make it verse 1. He said, and unto the angel of the house in Sardis write, these things saith he that has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou live and art dead. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. As we sit back and we look at King Jeroboam, his heart was not perfect before God. And he walked in the sins of his father. Come back to 1 Kings chapter 15. See, that's what the thing to y'all is. Y'all walking in the ways that you walked in when you were in the world. You still walking in the ways that you were in when you had counsel from ungodly people. And God is looking at you. Your works are not perfect. Your heart's not perfect. What you think you gonna get? Because your bone was destroyed. What you think you gonna get? Y'all better than me. Y'all are better than me. I'm gonna tell y'all another thing too. Now that just hit my mind. You know, I don't mind y'all calling me up, asking me questions. I would much rather you call me than text me too. Don't be texting me about nothing serious. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of times I answer, but I'm telling y'all, man, don't text me about nothing serious. Just go ahead and call me, man. Because I'll be honest with y'all, I don't be with all that texting, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's not permissible for you to call, that's one thing. If you're able to call, man, don't text me, man. Straight up, man. Don't text me, man. Just call me. Now, I don't mind y'all asking no questions, but y'all already know that it is not one, not two, but 3 channels of all this stuff that we done went over this information, and you say you want to be saved, it would behoove y'all to go look at it. Because it's not fair to people who have been there from day one or been here for a minute for me to go backwards over stuff that all you had to do was just go look at it. See, that show how serious you is about saving your soul because you'll go back and look at it. That's not fair to somebody who's been walking with me 2-3 years for me to go back over stuff like that. It's really not. It's really not. Y'all just keep that in mind. Man, don't text me neither, man. Just call me, man. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm telling y'all that now, man. If possible, just call. If it's something that's going to be quick and it's not going to be drawn out, and you be like, I'll text it, and that's cool, that's all well and good. But if you know that this going to be causing me to have to respond back to you in a text more than 2 times, call me, man. It'll be quicker that way. You get your answer quicker. Don't be texting me about stuff, man. Call me, man. Texting is only for quick, short things, not for drawn out things. He say 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. Verse 2 of 1 Kings 15:2. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Machah, the daughter of Absalom, and he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with Yah his God as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake did Yah his God give him a lamp in Jerusalem to set up his son after him and to establish Jerusalem. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yah and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Now, why would it say to do this to establish a son after him? I thought David was going to sit on the throne. Oh, my bad. I guess I can't read too well. Proverbs chapter 6. We just going through let's just look as many witnesses that we can see about this man being a lamb. Because he said you need to take this oil and you need to beat it so it can be a lamp in the house. Okay then. For the commandment is a lamp and the law is light and the reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Now he said the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. Y'all sure it was the law of the flesh, right? He said he the light of the world, right? Well, John chapter 12, verse 49, let's see if the commandment is a lamp. Make it 44. I think you need to hear that too. John chapter 12, verse 44. You ain't got to say nothing. You just call, all right, what's all good? They ain't kick y'all, we kick y'all. They might kick me off in a minute. Yahshua cried and said, he that believe on me, believe not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that see me, seeth him that sent me. I come a light into the world, but whosoever believe on me should not abide in darkness. If any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not, for I come not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that reject me and receive not my words hath one that judge him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. You can sit back and look at it. He also said, he that receive whomsoever I send, receive not me, but receive him that sent me. So if he done sent me and you ain't hearing me, and you ain't hearing the words he gave me, and you rejecting him, which means you rejecting the Father, what you think you gonna get? That same word you rejecting is the same word that's gonna send you to hell. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father that sent me, he gave me a commandment, because the commandment is a lamp. What I should say and what I should speak, and I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak thereof, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. So we see that Yahshua is that lamp between two pieces, because who was on the side of Yahshua when he got killed? The two thieves. So guess what Abraham was having a vision of? He was having a vision of Yahshua being killed, shining as a lamp. Remember, we already dealt with that he caused the sun to sit still in the midst of heaven for a whole day. What does the sun do? It gives light. Truth be told, it's a lamp on earth. That's why he said you are light that's like a city on a hill. He took him up to the hill of Jezebel and strung him up. Matthew chapter 26. Let's see if they beat him. 27, I should say. 27 and 26. So he said you had to take this beaten oil and you had to take it and you had to beat it. He said, hold on, let me read it one more time what he said. He said, after you beat it, it was for to burn always. Then he said that the tabernacle of the congregation would be without the veil. So then we had to look at something. It's going to tie into the mother stuff. I promise I wanted to talk about something else, but the Lord just ain't take it that way. But thank the Lord. Matthew 27 and 26. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahshua, he delivered him to be crucified. So they beat this pure oil. Because when they say pure oil of olive oil, or this pure oil of olive, as is written. Now, why is it important that it says it's pure oil? Why is that important? 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. First John chapter, y'all all right? You niggas quiet, you more quiet than you usually be. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world know us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now we are the sons of God. It doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that hath this hope in him purify himself, even as he is pure. Now, why is this important? You should know why this is important based on the first thing we started looking at. He said that this man was pure, that he was clean, and that this olive oil was pure, meaning there wasn't no blemishes in it. There wasn't no spots in it. Y'all see how that go together? Because if something pure, that means there's no imperfections in it, right? And we just started looking at how the Passover lamb had to be a male the first year without spot or blemish, meaning it didn't have no blemishes in it. Didn't have no imperfections in it, no impurities, nothing was wrong with it. Let's go right back to what we was looking at Adam. The first Adam wasn't pure, the second one was though. That's why the first Adam wasn't beat, but the second one was. So you got to beat it. Beat this oil so this oil can do what? Give light. So it can give light. It can be a lamp that burns continually. Hebrews chapter 7. See if that's what we want here. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 22. By so much was Yahshua made a surety of a better testament. And truly were many priests, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death, but this man continued ever, having unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto God by him, seeing that he ever lived to make intercession for them. So that means there's a lamp inside the temple that burn always then, don't it? To give light to the people. Now it also said that it was inside the veil. Well, let's look at Matthew chapter 27. Let's see what happened with the veil. Then we can go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. We're good in Exodus 27. You can drop that. Lord permit, we'll get back to number 28. We still got to look at this foot washing thing too. Then we can maybe jump on to some other stuff. Matthew chapter 27. We want verse 50. Yahshua, when he cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. So now we see that the veil in the temple has been pulled back. It said that this lamp would burn always in the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil. Let's see what that could go to. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 12. See, when the veil in the temple was rent, that means it was without. That means you can see now. See, now we're able to see how all this stuff relates back to who we claim we believe in, who we claim is the author of our salvation. Verse 13. Make it 11. Make it 8. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be right and glorious? For if the ministration of condemnation be glory, much more doth the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by reason of the glory that excelled. For if that which is done away was glorious, much more that which remained is glory. When we sit back and we look at the Passover lamb, the actual lamb being sacrificed and killed, that was what delivered our ancestors out of the captivity and the bondage at the hand of their oppressors who were in Egypt at the time. Was that not a glorious thing to see? Y'all don't think that was a glorious thing to see? But he said, but that which come after was greater than that which came before. Because now you got something, because that Passover lamb could not deliver them from death. It couldn't stop the enemy from taking them down. It only stopped the enemy in the flesh. It didn't stop the enemy that was attacking them inwardly. He say, for that, seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. But their minds were blinded, for unto this day remained the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Hamashiach. That's what's going on right now. That's why people think they need to be eating lamb. That's why these people sitting back and they talking about, is anybody putting blood on their doorpost? The veil on their heart. That's why they can't sit back and see that Yahshua, who knew no sin, became sin, the just died for the unjust. Pure olive oil was beaten so he could become a lamb. Because when he rose from the dead, he was a light always, continually to make intercession on our behalf. A lack of understanding in this book is deadly. Listen to the next verse. But even unto this day when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. That's why he say this lamp will give light to them that who were without the veil. He say for Aaron and his sons. When we sit back and you look at Yahshua, when he was beaten, he was light without the veil because the veil hadn't been removed yet. He kept telling the disciples he was the light of the world. Whosoever believes in me shall never walk in darkness. He kept telling them that. Because he was the light without the veil. He was that lamp. When they sat back and he got beaten, he was still that lamp without the veil. When he died, the veil was pulled back. And then he sat back and brought his sons and he sat down and told them, it's all about me, son. Now remember, when he say Aaron and his sons, it's always sitting back talking about Yahshua and the disciples. Those are his sons. Remember, he's the high priest. So if you're talking about the high priest, then who his sons going to be? His sons going to be the apostles. Well, let's look. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. John chapter 13, we look at this feet washing thing, then we get on to some other stuff. John chapter 13, verse 5. Make it 4. I guess we're going to have to slow it down this time. He rise from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. And after that he poured water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then come he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Yahshua answered and said unto him, What I do thou know not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. He was telling Peter, you know what I'm doing right now, you will in a minute. Peter saith unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahshua answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter saith unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yahshua said to him, He that is washed need not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. But ye are clean, and ye are clean, but not all. See, when he sat back and told him, He that is washed need not to save to wash his feet. So he was letting it be known, him washing their feet had nothing to do with cleanliness. Why did he say he that is washed had no need to wash his feet, but is clean every bit? Why would he say that? Huh? Because they heart it up, because his heart already been washed with the word. He said, how can a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to thy word. So he said, me washing your feet ain't had nothing to do with cleanliness. He said, you clean, Peter, but all you niggas ain't. He said, for he knew who would betray him, therefore he said, ye are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was sat down again, he said unto them, you know what I have done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then your Lord and Master have washed your feet, you also to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. What did he just tell them? What did he just tell them here? It ain't even that say, if I wash y'all feet, then y'all should do it to each other. So that means the men should wash each other's feet, the women should wash each other's feet, and then also if the women too, and we'll deal with a wife and say women can wash men's feet, and it means you don't wash one person's feet and it's over with. You do everybody. You don't say, I'm going to wash his feet, I ain't washing his. I'm going to wash his, I ain't washing his. You got to do them all. Listen why we told you should do this. He said, truly, truly, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, happy are ye if you do them. He said, if you know that the leader is not greater than the servant, and he that is sent is not greater than him that sent him, then you gonna know. He say, blessed, because that's all blessed mean is happy. Blessed are you if you do this. So if you don't have an understanding and knowing why you should do this, then you would not be blessed then. Now let's look at Exodus chapter 30 and show you another reason why he did it. Because he told him, you don't know what I'm doing, but you'll know later. Since we talk about Aaron and his sons. Exodus chapter 30 verse 17. So that means, guess what? That means the men should do each other. Like I say, the sisters should do each other. And if the sisters want to do the men, you're going to have to do everything, everybody. And we got books for that. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. When the two women were sitting there talking to each other about it, and my old lady decided to ask me to get clarification, he hit my mind. He said, I want you to go in there and find where that woman washed the men's feet so they can see that. He said, y'all spake unto Moses, saying, Thou shalt also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. Thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, and thou shalt put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat. And when they shall go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water, that they die not. But when they come near to the altar to minister, to burnt offering made by fire unto Yah, so they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. It shall be a statute forever to them, even to him, and to his seed throughout their generation. So now you see why this man went and washed their feet. Because you don't think he told him that after he rose from the dead? You don't think he told him that? First Samuel chapter 25 and verse 37. We're going to put that on the bed. And we ain't even got to worry about it. 1 Samuel chapter 25 verse 37. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, he became a stone. And it came to pass about 10 days after, that Yah smote Nabal, that he died. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be Yah, that hath pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and hath kept his servant from evil, and Yah hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail, to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth, and said, Behold, let thy handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord. Now this woman just sat up and put her head to the ground and said, Could you let me be a servant to wash the feet of your servants? Luke chapter 7, verse 37. So you know what that woman just showed? A humble heart. She wasn't doing that thing just to be seen. I don't think too many people want to put their hands on niggas' feet. What about you? Yeah, I don't even really either, but you know, some people be really adverse to that. It ain't really no big deal to me. And somebody bringing some lotion, we're going to shine you up real nice. Like, you're going to walk around there, your feet going to be shining. I need to get around there, see them Asian people. Try to go around there tomorrow. You want to go around there with me? Yeah, Luke chapter 7 verse, Luke 7 and 44. Luke chapter 7 verse 44. You kicked out. Yeah, y'all just thought it was about a lady walking her hair with her tears, huh? Oh no, brother. No. Abigail did it too. Luke chapter 7 verse 37. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahshua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. And when the Pharisees which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman that he is that touched him, for she is a sinner. Come on down here about verse 44 though. This is what the Lord told you, because this is the act that she showed, which is the same act that Abigail showed, which is the same act that Yahshua showed when he washed his disciples' feet. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, See thou this woman? I entered into thy house, and thou gave me no water for my feet. But she had washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gave me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in have not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou did not anoint, but this woman hath anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins which are many are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same love little. See, you sit back and look at it, that was love that people showed. That's the same thing going back to love ain't no word, no feeling, it's an action. He said this woman loved a lot. So that means when you're doing that, that's a labor of love while you're doing it. You're not doing it to be seen. You're not doing it out of obligation. You ain't doing it because of this, that, and the other. You're doing it because you got love in your heart for your brethren to serve them, or your sister to serve them. That means the love of the Messiah is in you. Because in Matthew chapter 20, he said, I did not come to be ministered unto, I came to minister. But you know what that shows? Selflessness. First Timothy chapter 5, so you can see why Paul said this in his epistle letter. 1 Timothy 5 and about verse 9. That's why you do it. That's why he said I did this to give you an example. And if you follow this example, blessed are you. though. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Let not a widow be taken in the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man. When we sit back and we look at Abigail, wasn't 70 years old, but she was the wife of one man, well reported of for good works. And it was reported that she had good works. If she had brought up children, if she had lodged strangers, if she had washed the saints' feet. If they were the servants of David, that means they were saints too, because they were set apart ones. Men that David specifically set apart to serve. And she said, if she had relieved the afflicted, if she had diligently followed every good work. See, you really got to sit back and look at, you got to follow diligently every good work. Every good work ain't just sitting down with the head wrapped on. When you sit back and you look at the women, Romans chapter 16. Romans chapter 16. Actually, it's 1 Corinthians. Is it Romans 16? I think it's at the beginning. Yeah, Romans 16, chapter 1. Romans 16, verse 1. You know what I'm talking about? You know what Abigail did? It wasn't nothing. Abigail humbled herself. She said, please let my Lord what? She said, please allow our handmaid to wash my Lord, his servant's feet. He said, please let me do it. It's in my heart to do it. She said, it's in my heart to do it. I desire to do that. He said, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the house, which is at Centuria, that you receive her in the Lord as become saints, and that you assist her in whatsoever business she had need of you. For she has been a sufferer of many, and myself also. Y'all know what a sufferer is? Or a sufferer? Y'all know what that means? Somebody who's been an aid, a help, and a relief. My sister was telling me it's a sister in her congregation that when she goes to the store, she don't go to the store looking to buy stuff for herself. She go to the store to buy stuff for other people. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people, man, you know, everybody got a tender selfishness in it when you sit back, you know, I got to do this for myself. But, you know, that's a strong level of selfishness right there. You ever went to the store and be like, I'm finna buy it for somebody else. And pop your trunk open and you got stuff for other people. Ain't nothing enough for you. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm buying anything. I do.
Huh?
I said, I'll buy anything.
Yeah, and I know you don't. I know you don't, because you don't go out much. You won't be working like a real Hebrew slave. You know what I'm talking about? But that's okay though. I think he doing what he got to do. Shoot, he got body feet. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't mad. He got to do it. I ain't mad at it. Shoot, but he don't get to go out much and do that there. But that's when you know you at a point when you sitting back looking at, because you know some people, it's one thing, you know, if you ask me and I got it, or if I know you in need, I'll go do it. You know what I'm talking about? It's another thing when you going out, and I'm going out here to the mall one day, and they ain't got to ask for it. They ain't like to say, I just got to a mall, I'm finna go buy you that. Now he just sat back and said about this woman here, she a servant. He telling the saints, assist this woman because this woman done helped many saints. He said, myself also. So y'all don't sit back and look at it. I'm going to show you what that means because it's been in my mind to do this here. Look what else he says. He said, greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers, in the Messiah Yahshua, who have for my late wife laid down their own necks. I know not only I give thanks, but also all the houses of the Gentiles. Likewise, greet the body that is in the house. Salute my well-beloved Apprentice, who is the firstborn of our chair under Hamashiach. Greet Mary, who bestowed labor under us. That means that woman sat back and did her thing. If he bestowed labor, you know what that woman was doing? That means whatever business that they needed her to do, she went and did it. She took care of them. Whatever you need. Come on, hold on. Acts chapter 19. I think we got another woman showed this same thing. Acts chapter 19. Let me see where it's at, what I want. Or is it 16? Acts chapter 16, that's what I want. About verse 14. I guess we can go look at Dorcas too. You know there was a white lady down here, she was named Dorcas Drake. That wasn't her real name.
That's somebody in my family.
What, Dorcas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was her real name. It might have been her real name. But she used to give out tours on Saturnalia. He said, a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple of the city of Thyatira, which worshipped God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul. And when she was baptized in her household, she besought her, saying, If you judge me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and abide there. And she constrained her. If she constrained her, that means she say, stay here, don't you go nowhere. Whatever you got need of, I'ma do it. You know what I'm talking about? Acts chapter 9. Verse 39. Matter of fact, back me up. Back me up about verse 32. And it came to pass, as Peter passed throughout all quarters, he came down also to the saints which dwelt at Lydda. And there he found a certain man named Aeneas, which had kept his bed 8 years and was sick of the palsy. And Peter said unto him, Aeneas, Yahshua HaMashiach, make thee whole, arise and make thy bed. And he arose immediately. And all that dwelt at Lydda and Saron saw him and turned to the Lord. Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in the upper chamber. For as much as Lydia was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them, and when he was come, they brought unto him the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him weeping, showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth and kneeled down and prayed, and turning to the body said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. And he gave her his hand and lifted her up, and when he had called the saints and widows, presented her alive. And you know why that is? It's the same thing like with Cornelius. He said, your alms deeds and the stuff you done did, it done came before God as a memorial. I'm going to come down and visit you. You know, she was full of good works. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be telling y'all, man, this thing bigger than just wrapping y'all head up and you got some skirts and dresses on and you don't put no jewelry and no makeup on. It's about your heart. It's the selflessness that was in these women. It's what set them apart. It's the humility that was in these women which set them apart. Why do you think this man say a woman of a quiet and meek spirit is of great price? Because Abigail was a great price to David. That was a humble and meek woman, wise woman too. You sir, and I'm going to be dead honest with y'all. My old lady included. Don't none of y'all fit that qualification. Not one single one of y'all. And you can grit your teeth and you can stamp your feet. Not a single solitary woman that part of this congregation fit none of these qualifications. And if you don't like it, you can come look me in my face and I'll look in your eyes and I'll tell you the same. Straight up, because I'm not joking, I'm not playing, I'm dead serious, ain't trying to be funny. Don't none of y'all fit that at this point in time. Not one of you. Take it how you want to take it. I ain't saying you can't get there, but you ain't there right now. Not there one of y'all. That's all. You can get there where you need to be though. But does this offend you? Like the Lord said, it's a hard saying, does this offend you? Have I become your enemy because I told you the truth? Because at this present time, don't none of y'all fit that. So that means, guess what that means? Tighten up on your bike stroke. That's all that means. That's all that means. Tighten up on your bike stroke. Because guess what? The Lord letting you know, man, just told you your works ain't perfect before. You know you ain't at that point. You know you ain't at that point. You know you ain't full of good deeds. You know you ain't full of all deeds. You know you're not selfless. You know you don't minister unto the saints. You know these things. You can try to tell yourself you is if you want. Don't sit there and lie to yourself. Be real with yourself. Y'all think I'm just saying it to be mean? Saying it because it's a true statement. Ain't not damn single one of y'all excluded. Nobody. If you got one of yours, they got the Y chromosome on them. Any one of y'all with a Y chromosome, ain't none of y'all all exempt. Nobody is exempt. Some of y'all are closer than others. Acts chapter 20. Acts chapter 20, verse 33. Some of y'all are closer than others, but you ain't there yet. Some of y'all got a long way to go. And you know it too. Make it verse 32. And now, brethren, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel. Ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities and to them that were with me. Hold what you got coming Nehemiah chapter 6. Show you why that man said this. Might be 7. This man said, I ain't coveted none of your stuff. Let's see why Paul told these people that. Actually, Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 14. He said, I ain't covered none of your stuff. This man said, I labored with my own hands for my necessities and those that were with me. I ain't want none of your stuff. He said, moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even to the 2 and 30th year of Xerxes the king, that is 12 years, I, my brethren, have not eaten the bread of the governor. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken up them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bare rule over the people, but so did not I, because of the fear of God. Yet also I continued in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 Jews and rulers, besides those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us. Now that which were prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days of store all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required I not the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I've done for this people. What did Nehemiah just say right here? Come back to Acts chapter 20. What did Nehemiah just state right here? Nehemiah just told you, he said, I didn't take the bread of a ruler. He said, but I continued in the work on this wall. He said, me and my servants, we ain't buy any land either. We were gathered thither unto the work. What did Yahshua say about his disciples in Matthew chapter 19? If anybody had forsaken any lands and came and followed me, they would have inheritance in heaven, right? Who do you think Nehemiah talking about his servants is that's building this wall? You know what Nehemiah was? He was a governor, right? I mean, he was a ruler. You know what Yahshua is, right? He's a governor, right? He's a ruler, right? But who his servants is then? That would be the people preaching the word then. He said, we ain't took nothing from y'all. But then he came back and said, but you see this here? He said, the only thing that I've taken, now that which was prepared for me, which was me, this was specifically for the work he was doing. So I ain't taking none other than what's owed to me for the work I'm doing. Anything else that I can get extra, I ain't taking that. That's why Paul said we don't abuse this power. He said, I got power to take it, but I don't. You will see why he said that. Come on back to Acts chapter 20. Because he was just sitting here talking about it, Nehemiah. He said Nehemiah said the people who ruled over the people before, he said they desired the people's stuff. Took everything they could get out of them. Why do you think Paul and Peter come back around and say a bishop can't be greedy or filthy lucre? Because that's what the governors during that time were greedy for. They were greedy for the people's stuff. That's why Peter told you again they make merchandise out of it. These niggas going crazy come from some old big head nigga from New York that shot a bomb up with an AK-47. Why you can't? What are they shooting up the world gonna bother me for? Nigga already going to hell. Nigga serve a God that like moving. You know what I'm saying? Nigga serve a God that like moving. This nigga ain't no threat. You niggas the one paying the stupid nigga. Verse 33 one more time in Acts chapter 20. I covenant no man silver or gold or apparel, yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities and to them that were with me. Ain't that what Nehemiah just said? We working on this wall and the things I was given daily was for the work that I did, for what I needed, for the work I'm doing? Ain't that what he just said? None of y'all don't understand that or can't see that. That's what he just said in the Nehemiah 5th chapter. Okay, tell me something. He say, I showed you all things, how that so laboring, you ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord Yahshua, how it is said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Well, let's see why it's like that in Psalms chapter 112. The 112th selection might be 116. Let me see that. Make sure that's what I want. That's because I was looking at 113 and not 112. Psalms 112, verse 1. He say, praise ye Yah, blessed is the man that fear Yah, that delight greatly in the commandment. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth, and the generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endure forever. So what are these wealth and riches that will be in his house? Because you fear God and delight greatly in the commandment. What are these wealth and riches that will be in your house? We're going to get to the blessed, to give and not receive. What are these wealth and riches? Because he told you in Exodus chapter 20 that he got power to give, Deuteronomy chapter 20, that he got power to give thee wealth. He even told you that in Deuteronomy chapter 8. What are these wealth and riches? So you mean to tell me don't nobody know what these wealth and these riches would be? Anybody? Let's go. Well, let's look at Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 7. Yeah. Understanding would be one of them. Salvation would be one of them, Delta, but we just wanted something a little bit more specific. Ephesians 1 and 7. I'll make it 5. Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahshua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he has made us accepted in the beloved, whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace, wherein he has abounded towards us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he had purposed in himself, that in the dispensation of the fullness of time he might gather together in one all things in Hamashiach, both which are in heaven and which are on the earth, even in him, and in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worked all things to the counsel of his own will. So when we sit back and we look at the riches, what he's sitting here talking about us is the things that can come to him. Remember what Peter told that man who said, give me the money too, that I may have this power, that whoever I put my hands upon may receive the Ruach HaKodesh. And he told that man, your money perished with thee because you thought the gift of God could be purchased with money. You know what I'm saying? This is the riches of God, the riches of his grace. Because grace is undeserved gift of favor. So it would be the Ruach HaKodesh, knowing the mystery of the Messiah, knowing, John chapter 4 verse 20, show you the riches of his grace. I called for it earlier. It slipped my mind, but thank the Lord, he just brought it back. Because he just said right here that he has made us know the mystery of his will, or the hidden truth. John chapter 4 verse 20. After we finish with John chapter 4, we might come to a couple more epistle letters. We work our way around. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahshua said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. He just told this woman, man, you don't know what you're doing. We know what we're doing. He just told you that was the riches of his grace, that you might know the mystery of his will. Now you got bold people sitting around here talking about sacrificing lambs. I ain't talking about cooking no lambs. You got people who are going to kill a lamb and do exactly what Exodus 12 say to do with it, and put blood on the doorpost. You got niggas that still sacrifice animals. You got niggas who still divorce their wife and say, well, Moses said write a bill of divorce. Don't have the riches of his glory. Don't know the mystery of his will. Ephesians 3 and 14. That's why it says more blessed to give than receive. Yahshua gave. He didn't take nothing from nobody. He gave his life. He gave the spirit. He gave redemption of sins. He gave mercy. He said grace and truth came by Yahshua HaMashiach. He said the law came by Moses. Grace and truth came by the Lord, though. Look at all the things this man gave him, man. Eternal life. What did he give him? Nothing. That's why he told you that. Ephesians 3 and 14. For this cause I bow my knees unto the Father of our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach, of whom the whole family in heaven and earth is named, that he will grant you according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might by his spirit in the inner man, that HaMashiach may dwell in your hearts by faith, that ye may be rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all saints what is the breadth, the length, the depth, and height, and that to know the love of HaMashiach which pass all past knowledge, that you might be filled with all the fullness of God. See, when you end up becoming to be able to take the partaker, because he told you in Proverbs chapter 8 that his treasure was better than silver and better than choice gold. That's why he said, I counsel you to take gold, come out of the fire, that you might be rich. See, that's why he said the riches of God's glory, you can't put no money on. There's no value. That's why he said the kingdom of God is like somebody who found a great treasure and went and dug a hole and hid it there. See, y'all claim y'all owe this, what I wanted, I always wanted to know this, that, and the other, but your behavior don't show that you actually desire the riches that this man put in front of you, because if it did, you wouldn't do the stuff you do. I told y'all before, man, when this word came on and I wasn't looking for it, I actually was able to comprehend and understand what was before me, and I appreciated the value of it. Therefore, I treated it very, very preciously. I knew what was in front of me. See, you do that when you actually find something of good value. See, a man will actually do that when he finds a woman of good worth, and he knows her worth, and she's valuable, it's precious to her. He'll do anything. I can't lose that. See, a lot of y'all women, y'all been dumped on and duked it on because you didn't show yourself to be of any value to that man, because if you did, he wouldn't have done the things that he did. He wouldn't have done it. And the only reason why he didn't value you, because you didn't value yourself. Straight up and down. You didn't value yourself. I don't know why y'all expect a man to value you and you don't value yourself. And I'm telling you, man, see, men don't look at, only a lame man look at what you say out your mouth. Men look at what you do. Men ain't looking at what you see. See, y'all women, y'all look at what somebody say. Men look at what you do. That's why when a woman be like, I ain't no hoe, but I slept with you in 24 to 48 hours. Oh, you was a hoe. I don't care what you say out your mouth. On y'all favorite line, y'all used to run, you try to run on somebody. I don't usually do this. Oh, you do this all the time. Because your actions show it. I don't care what your mouth say. Oh, this is your modus operandi right here. I'm for real. I'm just telling y'all, I be trying to give y'all women a glimpse into the mind of how a man think. You know what I'm saying? Because a man don't think like y'all think. See, y'all be sitting there thinking, oh, I can do this here. You know how many times you see women post or talk about if a woman do this here? Well, a man look, yeah, a man gonna look at you like, oh, is that right? Is it a double standard? Try to spin out you want to use a slut. And that's how we gonna view you. Tell you how you want to take. You call it double standard, spin all you want. Nigga gonna sit back and look at it. I wouldn't take her home to meet my man. Definitely wouldn't kiss her in the mouth. Wouldn't put no baby on her. Wouldn't marry her. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to tell y'all this so y'all can sit back and realize, make yourself something that a man of value that he would look at. I do not want to lose that. That's precious right there. That's valuable. If a nigga sit back and look at you, because really diamonds ain't precious. You know what I'm saying? They make y'all think they precious, but they really ain't precious. That's why they say avert. Yeah, they ain't no different than some pebbles you find on the street. But that's why he say, He said, this is why he said, who can find a virtuous woman? She's more, her value is greater than rubies. See, rubies and emeralds, those are actually precious stones that have value. See, rubies and emeralds are not readily found. See, they just told y'all diamonds were valuable and y'all just went for it. That's why everybody won. These people got more diamonds than you could think of. One diamond man said they got enough diamonds they could sell them for the price of a dozen roses. You know what I'm saying? When you actually look on the precious stones that are on the kingdom's gates, I done showed you this before, or the precious stones that are on the high priest's breastplate, a diamond is not there. They're not there. But the emeralds and the rubies and them sapphires are. A man find a ruby, this is precious. I got to keep that. I don't find this every day. Y'all got to make a man, when he come close you, I don't find this every day. But if you just a run-of-the-mill same thing I see every day, that head wrap ain't fooling nobody. Them dresses ain't fooling nobody. Because a man ain't looking at all of that. When a man coming to a woman and he looking at, I want to possibly make her a mate, that man is watching every single solitary thing that you say and everything that you do. And it'll take him about 10, 15 minutes if he realize, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. It'll also take 10 to 15 minutes he say, I'm intrigued. I want to know more. And if he really seen what he wanted to see in that obligation of being around her, you be like, well, I got to have her. And he'll set the things in motion to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? I got to have her. Y'all will be sitting there looking at that, man. You be wondering why these niggas, y'all be wondering why these niggas don't treat y'all like the way they treated. You wasn't worth nothing. Not at the state that they found you in at that particular time, you weren't worth nothing. I'm tell you something, man. All y'all got vaginas, so you ain't special with that. All y'all got titties. Some of y'all bigger than others. All y'all got booties. Some are bigger than others. You know what I'm talking about? But man, after a while, that stuff get old, man. I told you, man, Bill Maher said the real truth when he said one thing. Show me a beautiful woman, I'll show you a man tired of having sex with her. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have something to hold that man. I was talking to Mom yesterday. Mom gonna act like this here, like this. But I'm telling y'all something. Y'all know y'all can't approach no woman. I mean no man. But I guarantee you, every last one of you women know how to make a man let a man know you're interested. I told her, I'm gonna wait too. I'm gonna see if the Lord show me out to be telling the truth. I'm gonna wait one day to be sitting back watching. I see my walk up on somebody be like, I see your plate empty. You want another one? And I'm gonna say, remember that day I told you you were gonna do that? I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that. I'm going to be dying laughing on the inside. I ain't laughing outside. I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that. Yeah, I did you like that, Mom. I did it. Yeah, I did it. You know what I'm talking about? Or when she come up there, she say, I see your cup empty. Would you desire another beverage? I can't walk away. I'm telling you now. Y'all know the best way y'all want to let a man be interested. You be walking around here with that old stank old walk, man. You walk around here like you finna break your hip, man. Walk like you got some sense. Walk like you got some sense. Don't be around here want to throw your hip out of joint. Cause ain't nobody finna be carrying you around cause you done broke your hip. I want y'all to come around here and look at Job chapter 15 though, man. Cause this is the key thing of why we sit back and we delve to find this man in his word so we can be a part of his riches. Because the riches that God gives, can't nobody put in there. Oh, let me finish Psalms 112. My apologies. I done went off all that and forgot what we were looking at. But thank the Lord, he just reminded me. I'm in here sweating like a real live hole. Verse 4, where we at? Listen what he say. Unto the upright there arise light in the darkness. Then we just sit back and see how he say this lamp will give light in this whole world. Because to those that are blameless, light will rise in darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteousness. That's what Yahshua came to do. John chapter 1 verse 12, to the upright he's gracious and full of compassion and righteousness. That's why he came to be a light to them that's in darkness. John chapter 1 verse 12. He came to give light into the whole house. Look at John 1 and 1. I work my way down to verse 12. Thank the Lord. One day, man, I might be able to help some of y'all out. Y'all just listen and pay attention and just follow what you're being told. You actually might be able to get something done. Instead of always sit back, don't make no sense. If you think you know better than I do, what you even sit here for? Unless he just fulfilling what the book says, a prophet is not without honor, saving his own house amongst his own kin and in his own country. He said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. Keep that in mind what I'm talking about now. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Because he came to give light to the upright. He came to be gracious, full of compassion. He was righteous. And the light shined in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. Going sitting right back looking at it, it's a vexation for them to understand the report. Now you sitting here hearing the report so you can be a partaker of the riches of his glory, and he might strengthen you in the inward man, that the love of the Messiah might dwell in your hearts by faith, that you might be rooted and grounded in the love of God, but yet you disobedient on a regular basis and walk around like you righteous. You wicked bastard. And when I say bastard, I mean illegitimate son. Man, that man said it's a strange punishment to a hypocrite. It's a strange punishment. Strange punishment. That's just scary. That's just scary. Niggas say strange. What you mean strange? I ain't talking about some of that stuff y'all niggas done did for some change. For some of you niggas on here, male and female, some of you niggas done did some strange things for a couple dollars. You know I ain't lying. Ain't none of y'all gonna tell it though. Verse 12. You know I ain't lying. Some of you niggas done did some stuff you ain't want nobody to know about, stuff you ain't proud of, you don't want nobody to know. And the word part is though, you ain't got to tell it, because the Lord gonna tell it on the last day when you stand before him. Every single solitary thing you've been trying to hide, he's gonna bring it right on out. So you might as well confess it now. He said, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born, not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory is of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. If he came full of grace and truth, that means he came with a lot of compassion then, didn't he? And he was righteous. Because we know the righteous died for the unrighteous. He said a light came up to the upright. There was light that came up in darkness. To those of us that were in death, there was light came. You know what I go right back to it? Those that obeyed, I'm going to be honest with you. Those that obeyed by putting that blood on the doorposts in Egypt, that didn't make them righteous because they did that. Obviously not, because many of them perished in the wilderness. That was grace. That was an undeserved gift of favor. There was nothing the children of Israel did for him to do that. And he was showing his favor, he was showing his glory, he was showing his compassion, he was showing his righteousness. And he came back again with his son and did the same thing. Because we were dwelling in darkness in that place. We were in captivity. Just like we were dwelling in darkness before he came. We were in captivity to sin. He came and he arose a light to bring us up out of that place. And y'all still want to dwell in darkness. Verse 5, a good man show favor and lend, he will guide his affairs with discretion. Now how did this good man show his favor and he lend and guide his favors with discretion? Well, let's look at John chapter 3. And let's see if he did it. Is it 3 or is it 5? It's John chapter 6, I should say. I think that's 6 or is it 5? That's chapter 5. No, that is chapter 6. My book all messed up. She done been through the road. We done had her for a long time. This thing been rolling about 2 years now. John chapter 5. Yeah, man. You know, I carry around John 5 and 3. You should see the other one like that. I got one, man. That thing done been rained on because it's been in my hand. I done got caught in the rain. Come on, messed up, man. I'm telling you, man. I remember one time I was in the street preaching, man. I had a pair of basketball shorts on. And I had a Bible in my pocket. And dude couldn't tell that I had this Bible in my pocket. So, and I had a pair of, these wasn't no big old shorts neither. So when Bernie went to talk about something, I said, well, let's see what the words say. And when I pulled that book, that nigga said, you walk around with a Bible in your pocket? I said, and what, nigga, I might want to read it. I said, I do work overnight, nigga. Well, I pulled it right out my pocket, my right pocket too. He was shocked. That nigga said, you got a Bible in your pocket? I said, you don't want to talk about you a youth pastor and all that type of stuff, nigga. I come prepared. I keep my pistol with me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I keep a burner with me, man. I got a 40 cal, man, put big bullets in you. We don't want to carry that 50 cal. That 50 cal was in the back pipe. I can't even say that was no 50 cal. That was an AK-47 in that back pipe. That was a big gun. That was a big one. I pulled that big old Bible out. You be like, oh boy, this nigga came serious. He ain't even playing. I'm telling you, ain't nobody always seen that Bible but little mother. She the only one know what that Bible look like. She the only one seen it. Oh, Paul seen it too. I take that back. Paul seen it too. He said when Yahshua went up to, verse 3, John 5:3, when Yahshua went up to a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples, and the Passover, and the feast of the Jews was nigh. And when Yahshua then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto him, Philip, whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? This he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 penny worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of the disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saith unto him, There's a lad here, which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? Yahshua said, Make the men sit down. Now there was such much grass in the place, so the men sat down in the number about 5,000. And Yahshua took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them which were set down, and likewise of the fishes as much as they would. And when they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. So you know what man did? He said he showed favor. Because favor is a gift. He showed favor to these people. Y'all got a couple fishes and some loaves. He said, you know what? I'm going to lend it. I'm a guide my affairs with discretion. You know what it means to be discreet? See, I know some of y'all don't know what it is to be discreet. You know what I'm talking about? It's just to do stuff with tact. Do stuff with dignity. Come on back to Psalm chapter 112. Now you hit my mind. You know who didn't show no discretion last night? Why you see what that nigga did to Chris Paul last night? They say he stepped on his foot. Now that nigga Steph Curry ain't show that nigga. That's twice this season. He ain't show Chris Paul no discretion. That nigga had Chris Paul looking sick, man. They had Chris Paul like he was playing Twister, ducking the nigga on the BMX bike. But I can't be no shame, man. That nigga Steph Curry nice with it. Listen what he said in verse 6. He said, surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. That's why that man said, if your name written in the Lamb's book of life, it can't be blotted out. You'll be remembered forever. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in Yah. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see a desire upon his enemies. Look at what he said. He hath dispersed. He hath given to the poor. His righteousness endure forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. Come on here to 1 Corinthians chapter 8. This is the example of the Lord. The Lord walked around up there and said he had compassion on him. He said, I can't send him away hungry. He didn't tell nobody what he did when he did these things. When he sat back and he showed favor to the people, whether it was casting out devils, whether it was healing the sick, whether it was healing those who are palsy, he always told them, don't tell nobody what happened. Being discreet with it. Just keep it to yourself. That's why he told you, when you give alms, we'll just read it. Because he said he carries the affairs with discretion. Matthew chapter 6, let me show you why he said he moves his affairs with discretion. Let's just go ahead and kill some of you boasting, bragging niggas, want everybody to know what you're doing, you wicked nigga. I'm for real though. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. This is what he means by taking your affairs with discretion. He said, take heed that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou do thine alms, do not sound the trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and the streets, that they may have the glory of men. Truly I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou do alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand do, that thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which see in secret shall reward thee openly. When you sit back and you look at talking about Dorcas or Tabitha and all the stuff, that woman didn't go around telling these people what she did. Or you think he saw Peter raise her from the dead? She showed favor, she lended, she dispersed to the poor, she did it discreetly. He showed mercy on her. He rewarded her openly for what she did in private. You niggas will go do something for somebody and go straight go tell somebody what you did because you want somebody to say, boy, that nigga, that righteous, boy. She righteous. But she told me she went down there and fed about 3-4 people. Say she bought clothes for such and such. It's one thing if you see it. It's another thing if you go tell it. If somebody with you and they see it. But some of you niggas will just go pick somebody up to have them with you just so they can see it. And you don't think the Lord knows your heart. That's what you're doing. Y'all ain't slicker than God now. Y'all need to stop it. 1 Corinthians chapter 8. I don't know how you going to try to be slicker than God. He already knows your heart. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 actually pardon my error. Actually, it's chapter 9 that I want. Chapter 9 that I want. Chapter 9, 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6. He said, but this I say, he that sows sparingly shall reap also sparingly. He that loves little, get little. He which sow bountifully shall reap also bountifully. He that loves much, much is forgiven. He that loves little, little is forgiven. Every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. That means, and I know a lot of it, I done seen to hear dudes talk about this, but I think they say Christian pastors use this, talking about tithes. But this in particular instance, this man is not talking about that. You know how we know he's not talking about that? Because listen what he say. And God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that ye always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. As it is written, he hath dispersed abroad, he hath given to the poor, his righteousness remain forever. I already know he wasn't talking about no tithes right now. But you also got to know when you sit back and how they flip it. If you was making an offering to y'all, or you had to pay tithes or whatever the case may be, if you doing it because, oh, I gotta do it, or you don't want to do it, but you doing it anyway, well, I'm only going to give it because I got to. I mean, you can give it, but just like God did to Cain, he going to reject it. You can give it to me, but I don't want it. And that's the same way if you do an alms deed and you feel like you're doing it because you have to, oh man, I don't want to give this, I'm worried about this and this. God said, nigga, you might as well don't give it, nigga. You might as well don't give it. And don't think it's because if you don't give it because you feel like these things that make it, well, God ain't going to hold that to my account. You still committed sin because the book say he that knoweth to do good and do it not have committed sin. We'll read that in a minute. So guess what that means? Every time you niggas get in a situation where you know it's wrong and you do it anyway, you sin, you jerk. Straight up. Use a jerk to the highest level. I ain't gonna say douchebag because that's only reserved for special occasions. Verse 10. Now he that ministers seed to the sower, both to minister bread for your food and multiply your seed sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness which calls through us thanksgiving to God. That's what y'all don't be realizing. When you do this stuff for people, this calls people to give thanks to God from the seed that you sowed from your good work, which will bring forth them fruits of righteousness. That's why they say the fruits of the Spirit are joy, love, peace, long suffering. You don't talk about temperance. When you got joy for God, you gonna joy to give to others what God has gave to you, knowing God is nothing for him to get that back to you, but you're not looking to get it back now. We're reading Luke chapter 14 where you're looking to get it back at. He said, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness which calls through us thanksgiving to God, for the administration of this service, not only supply the horn of the saints, but is abundant also by many thanksgivings unto God. Whilst by the experiment of this ministration, they shall glorify God for your professed subjection unto the gospel of Hamashiach, and for your liberal distribution unto them and unto all men. And by their prayer for you, which long after you, for the exceeding grace of God in you, thanks be to God for this unspeakable gift. When you sit back and you got the Spirit of God in you, and this man just said because you have dispersed abroad and given to the poor, and your righteousness remain, that means God dwelling in you. Therefore, people long to be with you because of the gift of God that's in you, not because of what they can give to you. That's why Yahshua told the man in John chapter 6, verse 27, don't labor for the meat that perish. He said, you only come because you ate bread and saw miracles. He said, don't come for the meat that perish, but labor for the meat that endure to everlasting life. Don't come unto me because of the gift that you got something to eat or you got something. Come because the gift of God abides in me. And that's what you desire. See, a lot of y'all don't even desire to possess the gift of God anyway. You just say it with your mouth. I still ain't forgot about showing you that don't trust nothing come out of her mouth. I ain't forgot about it. You thought I did, but I did. Come on around here to Job 15. Does that make sense to y'all what we looking at? That's what you're supposed to look at. Man, you could have been that big. Why do you think I tell y'all when it come around that when what we do on Day of Atonement, man, you keep that stuff for yourself. Don't you take no pictures. Don't you try to don't you be sick. That just said, man, if you were trying to get some clothes or something for something you were finna do, you ain't got to tell nobody what you doing it for or what you want it for. That's being discreet. You niggas ain't got no finesse, no skill, no nothing. Job 15 and 1. I can tell, nigga ain't got no skill whatsoever, man. That's why niggas able to run so much game on you, because you ain't got no skill. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, should a wise man utter vain knowledge and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk or with speeches wherein he could do no good? When you sit back and look at it, that's what I meant by y'all two sitting around talking about stuff that y'all ain't had no information on. How y'all gonna sit around unreasonable with talk that ain't got no gain and with speeches what can't no good come from it? Huh? Dropped it once again. You already wrote them up. Alright then. What did I say? What about you over there, Jim Bandit? What's wrong with you? Well, what you want to do something about it? It's like we got a finger puppet show going on over here. Alright. Yeah, man, it cutting off now. Y'all hear me though? What good is it to do for you to sit around and have conversations where they ain't got no game? Just like Goldie, you see, I ain't talking to Buddy too tough this afternoon. That nigga was steady going like the Energizer Bunny. Everything he thought he talking about is name this, name that. I knew God ain't with you. That nigga did all that what he was talking about the name and then put holy in there. But you supposed to know you can come on man, be serious with your life. But when you put on there when I said what it is to believe on him, his statement was keep God's commandments. That's not believing on the Son. And y'all sit here and y'all get to hear about the Son and you still act like a nigga. You still live like a hypocrite. You still commit sin with no regard. Y'all don't know how many Hebrew Israelites actually believe that having faith in the Messiah is keeping the commandments. And having faith in the Messiah is keeping the commandments, what need of him was for him to come? What did he need to come for? What did that purpose serve? This man has allowed us to know the mystery of his will, that we might be partakers of his riches, the riches of his glory. That means being partaker of the covenant, the adoption of being the sons of God, the agreement, the land, the Ruach HaKodesh, eternal life, a name written in heaven, a kingdom, dominion, everything that God has to give. All you got to do is believe and obey. I was talking to Mouse them about this last week. Like when I decided to start working out, almost 3 years ago, May 2012. When I decided, because I always wanted to work out, but the Lord didn't have situation or circumstances set up for me to do so. But when a situation and circumstances set up to where I could begin to pick that back up, because I stopped working out from October 2010 till May 2012 because I had to do the work of the Lord. Situation and circumstances did not dictate for me to do so. The minute it was able for me to do so, no more eating coffee cakes, zebra cakes, none of that stuff. It was immediately eliminated on the spot. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about just, I'm talking about Little Debbie's period. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really matter what kind of Little Debbie it was. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it was. Anything that wasn't conducive to burning fat and building muscle, I wasn't going to eat it. And that was immediately. Like, boom! Whole paradigm shift. Whole mind frame shift. That's the same thing happened when it came to the word. Whole mind frame shift. Whole stuff got to go. Once the man showed, you see this right here, son? This ain't right. Get rid of it. It's gone. When this man got to show you the same thing 3, 4, 5 times, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Because that means you just outright stubborn, which means you're an idolater. That's exactly what that means. You're an idolater. Because your God is your own belly and your own desires, and you're going to do what you want to do, and you don't care that your works are not perfect before God. And your heart's not perfect before God. You don't care nothing about that. You just want to pretend like you are. I'm going to tell you something. When you got to pretend like you righteous and convince other people that you are, you already know you ain't. And you best believe they know you not too. They might not say nothing to you. They might not call you out for it. But they know you're not right. One day y'all figure that out. Verse 4 of the 15th chapter of the book of Job. Yea, thou cast off fear and restrain prayer before God. For thy mouth utters thine iniquity, and thou choose the tongue of the crafty. Thy own mouth condemns thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee. Listen to this question which this man asked. Art thou the first man that was born? Or was thou made before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret of God? And dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What know thou that we know not? What understand thou which is not in us? Now Eliphaz seemed to get upset with Job right here, didn't he? He said, is you the first man? Was you made before the hills? But what we just read about Yahshua though? He said in the beginning was the Word was with God. And the Word was God, and all things were made by Him and for Him, and before anything made, He was made. He was the first man. He was made before the hills. Why do you think when people kept sizing this man every time he said he was the Son of God? Nigga, who do you think you are? He said when he told him in John chapter 10, I and my Father are one. They picked up stones and stoned him. He said for good works. He said, what good work I did you stone me for good works, we stone thee not. But for blasphemy, because thou being a man, maketh thyself God. You just said you your Father one. You just trying to say you before everything. The man told him in John chapter 8, before Abraham was, I am. I'm before all that. And these dumb niggas think Israel is his firstborn. You think it's you his firstborn, you idiotic nigga. That you stupid. Israel is my firstborn, so you thought that was about you. Now this man tells me in the book of Psalms that no, I'm in the volume of the book is written of me, and can none of these dumb niggas tell you, well, who is he talking about? Well, I know he ain't talking about Jesus or Yahshua. Well, who is he talking about then, nigga? I don't know. Well, I know it ain't him. He's got to be talking about somebody that can't be David. David wasn't that lamp that Abraham seen. When did David wrestle with an angel? When was David in the garden and got kicked out? When did David get a hole put in his side? You know what I'm saying? This stuff like that, you niggas are idiots. And get mad when somebody tells you, you stupid. And y'all get mad when I tell you, y'all stupid, and you're going to keep on, and you're going to have the same mind that God gave them. Because they playing. Man, this whole thing is about discipline and accountability. This man wants you to be disciplined, and he's going to hold you accountable. If you are undisciplined and you do not like accountability, this thing is not for you. And it's amazing that you niggas can be so-called disciplined and accountable on everything except your service to God. That's amazing to me. Let it be something you roughing after. I bet you get disciplined real easy. You know what I'm talking about? Now he just said, has thou heard the secret of God, and do you keep wisdom to yourself? And what is it that you know that we don't know? Now why do you think he was asking this question? Oh, that's Tony. Yeah, I hear it. That's Tony. Matthew 22. I don't think he hears. I ain't heard the voice in a while. It's good to hear his voice though. Matthew 22. I got a number in my phone. I just don't know if my phone. I just don't know if my phone will let me. I don't know if my phone will let me call him without texting my bill. Matthew chapter 22, verse 22. Matthew 22 and 22. And when they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. And they came that day, the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up a seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the seventh, and last of all the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Yahshua answered and said unto them, you do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of God. Because they came at him and like, well, what wisdom and what secret that you got that we don't got? And you know what it caused them to hate them? You know who else who had a secret and revealed it to his brethren, and they hated him because they felt like they knew it too? Joseph. They said, who is this nigga? This man just said, has thou heard the secret of God? Does thou restrain strange wisdom? You keep the wisdom to yourself? He said, what do you know that we don't know? And what do you understand which is not in us? And you know what I come up to? God speak to me too. Let's sit back and look at that in Numbers chapter 12. Numbers chapter 12. And verse 1. I was talking to Quark about this. Man, that's where that hatred come in at, because everybody feel like, well, God talked to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to listen to this nigga. Who do you think you are? I got the same thing you got. But see, it was something that Moses, even though you wouldn't classify Aaron and Miriam as an apostle, it's something in here with Moses that we can tie back into 1 Corinthians chapter 9 with Paul. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have y'all indeed spoken only by Moses? Has not he spoken by us? And y'all heard. Oh man, they went to talking Greece. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which are upon the face of the earth. And y'all spake suddenly unto Moses, unto Aaron, unto Miriam, come ye out, ye 3, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they 3 came out. And y'all came down the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I Yah will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. Listen what he said, because he said, is the secret of God with you? Do you keep wisdom to yourself? He said, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of Yah shall he behold. Wherefore, were you then not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of Yah was kindled against him, and he departed. So you know what that means? Well, God get real upset when you talk about men who he sent to go do something. And these men sat back, Miriam and Aaron sat back and said, we got the same thing you got. When you look at the scribes and Pharisees, they felt like, who is this man? He gonna take our spot. We got the same thing he got, but they knew that they didn't. And you know what happened to Miriam? If your daddy had to spit in your face. And some of y'all, your daddy, your uncle, your granddaddy, probably your brother, they all needed to spit in some of y'all face. Maybe then you would have learned how to be humble. Somebody been a hot Lucas and put it right in your eyeballs. And if you think I'm just saying that just to be funny, you read verse 14 on your own time and you see God himself said, your daddy, her daddy should have spit in her face. That's what God said. I ain't telling y'all to go spit in no woman's face now, nor spit in your daughter's face either. So don't take that I'm telling you to go spit in some woman's face. But some of y'all, yeah, your daddy should have spit in your face 3-4 times. That's why you're so stubborn and rebellious now. That's why you ain't ashamed of none of the junk you be doing, because ain't nobody put a loogie in your face. Meaning ain't nobody made you humble yourself down. A woman that lacks humility is a disgusting thing to see. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman, all people are supposed to be humble, but even without the word, that's just something that people just naturally think a woman is supposed to be. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 1. It's just certain attributes in a woman that people automatically assume a woman is supposed to possess. When they see a woman don't possess them, it disgusts them. If you view a woman supposed to be like that, now if you like what I just seen a girl who I went to school with, a nigga say he only like chicks that go to the Post, Moncrief Lounge, and somewhere else, that mean you like foot drivers. That mean you ain't looking for that type of stuff. You like them chicks with them dimples and bullet holes. You know what I'm talking about? Cellulite and stuff look like cottage cheese on the back of her legs. Stuff that make you want to throw up. See, some of y'all ain't never been in no bad strip club like that. And you see these girls like, do these girls got AIDS or something? Like, why did you bring me here? Everybody who done, you say, I didn't go to strip clubs a lot. Man, every time I went is when somebody asked me to go with them. I never went on my own. That wasn't my thing. I couldn't see myself throwing my money to none of them hoes. But some of y'all done been in those strip clubs and you be like, boy, these hoes is hanging in here. Why did we come here? Next to which one you can think of on the top of your head around here, Mirage come to mind for me. I know that's a bad one, man. I done been in that, boy. Half hoes sit there look like, I think one of these hoes got HIV. They just look bad. Look sick. And niggas be in there tipping them up, tricking with them every day. 1 Corinthians 9:1, am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahshua HaMashiach our Lord? Are you not my work in the Lord? If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you. For the seal of my apostleship are ye in the Lord. My answer to them that do examine me is this: have we not power to eat and drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister? Was not Miriam Moses' sister? Anybody? Was not Miriam Moses' sister a wife as well as other apostles and as the brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Didn't remember that he said that Moses would be to Aaron as a God and Aaron would be to as a prophet? Which means he revealed the secrets unto Aaron and Aaron revealed the secrets unto the people. Which means for all intents and purposes we could take that and show that Aaron was an apostle. And wasn't Moses leading him about? So why they would have the nerve to sit back and talk against this man, trying to examine this man, talking about his God with him or not? He spoke to us too. So you had to watch that stuff. You had to watch that stuff. Well, I'm telling you, boy, that mouth gets you in a lot of trouble. And see, that's why they were saying, you know, that he spoke to us too. So they feel like the secrets is with us too. There's not any understanding in you that we don't have. And I'm telling you that because there's some of y'all, the Lord might choose you to put you to work. You have to make sure that type of stuff don't well up in your heart, man. Because you look at the scribes and Pharisees, they were always asking Yahshua, what's the greatest thing in the law? Look at Matthew 26. Let's look at another thing they were asking them, talking about his wisdom restrained from you. That sounds like somebody who's mad. Nigga just mad all the time. He got to be miserable, be an old jealous, hateful nigga. That just got to be a miserable way of living. I'm sorry, Matthew 22. Yet again. Verse 34. Make it 33. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. And when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto them, Thou shalt love Yah thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And while the Pharisees were gathered together, Yeshua asked them, saying, What you think of Hamashiach? Whose son is he? They said unto him, The son of David. He says unto them, How then thou David in the spirit call him Lord, saying, Yah said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. If David then called him Lord, how is he his son? No man was able to answer him a word, neither does any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. So while Job's friend was sitting back like this here, well, if you the first man and you got the secret of God and you keep winning to yourself, what do you know that we don't know? And what understanding that you have, which is not in us? And when Yeshua asked them that question, they found out real fast, nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. He told the people, you do err not knowing the scriptures, meaning the wisdom wasn't present with you. And you know what else did that show y'all? Y'all better sit back and be easy because you ain't got the secret of God yet. You think you know something, but you don't know nothing. The understanding that you think, oh, I got more understanding than him. I got the same understanding than me that he got. And you don't. And the Lord will make you look like a fool. Because you lack patience. Let's get to Jeremiah chapter 3. You get out of here, man. Jeremiah 3 about verse 33. It's just one thing I want y'all to sit back and look at. Matter of fact, we won't even look at it. I'll save it for another day. It's not fitting in what we talking about. I'm going to save it in for another day. Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. I'm going to save it for another day. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not to destroy, but to fulfill. For truly I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Thank the Lord before we get out of here, because that's that thing I said about you being a hoe. Ezekiel chapter 16. He just brought it to my mind. I almost slipped and got out of here without it. But we ain't getting out of here without it. Ezekiel chapter 16. Ezekiel, I thank the Lord. Y'all almost got out of here without it, but you ain't getting out of here without it. Ezekiel chapter 16. Verse 30. Matter of fact, make it 27. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee and have diminished thy ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which were ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet could not be satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan under Chaldea, yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. You know, that's something about a hoe. You know, hoes are ungrateful, because everything that y'all did for them, when he gave them that manna, they were like, oh man, I'm tired of this manna. And they cried for the quails, and then he had to smash them. Everything, that's what hoes always do. They complain, they ungrateful, they unsatisfied, they ain't never happy, they don't appreciate nothing. They don't take care of nothing. He gave them charge over his land, they didn't keep it. He gave them charge over his word, they didn't keep it. He gave them the best of everything, and they got waxed and kicked. When he gave them something, they complained about something we want better. That's what a whole do, eh? At least the ones I came across. I can't speak for none of them. He said, thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan under Chaldea, yet thou was not satisfied herewith. How weak is thy heart, saith Yah, seeing thou do all these things, the work of an imperial whorish woman. And that thou build thy eminent place in the head of every way, and make thy high place in every street, and hast not been as a harlot, and that thou scorn higher. That's one thing about a woman. Who give up that monkey, boy? She ain't giving up no cash. Nigga, I'm telling you, wake up with a wet behind in the draw pocket. But as a wife that commit adultery would take strangers unto her husband, thou give gifts to all whores, but thou give thy gifts to all thy lovers and hire them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none follow thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou give a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. Some of y'all women on this phone done did it. Some of y'all know women who done did it. Well, what nobody chasing after you to be a slut. You were chasing other people to be a slut, and you gave them everything you had, and you ain't get nothing in return but a dry pocket and some babies. And that's what he was telling Israel. That's what you is. He basically said, "You's a dumb hoe." You know, there's a woman I knew that I used to read her this all the time and show her this all the time, and she be like, "That's me." I said, "Well, what you gonna do about it?" "I don't know." "I guess going to hell. What you gonna do?" Isaiah 29, verse 13. I'm for real. There's a woman I knew, man, I used to sit down and show her stuff, and that's all. "That's me." I said, "Well, what you gonna do about it?" Just sit there and look at me stupid. He said, "Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but they have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men." And that's what y'all do. Psalm 78. You say you love God. "Oh, I love the Lord." "Yeah, ho, I hear you talking. I don't believe nothing you say though." That's what the Lord really must say. "You talking good one. Ho, I believe nothing you say though." Oh, well, no, because we didn't read the verse. He said, "You open your feet to everybody that passed by." And everybody on this phone knows somebody who opened their feet to everybody that passed by. Psalm 78. Let's see the verse that we want here, man. Psalm 78. Let's look at about verse 21. "Therefore y'all heard this, and was wroth, so a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in God, and trusted not in his salvation. Therefore he commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and rained down manna upon them to eat, and gave them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food, he sent them meat to the full. He caused the east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp round about their habitations. So they did eat, and were filled, for he gave them their own desire. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them, and he slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned, and inquired early after God. They remembered that God was their rock, and their high God their redeemer, but listen to what he said. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. Titus 1:16, then Matthew 5:20. So after I kicked him behind, because you was a stinking hoe, you came back running your mouth. He said, "Well, I don't believe you, because your actions show you don't love me. You can't. You can't." That's why people say God is a misogynist, because he used the actions of a whorish woman to describe his wife, because that was his wife, so he used the attributes of the character of a whorish woman. I'm telling you, man, real talk, don't nobody like a hoe. God don't even like one. And you wonder why men don't like hoes. You sit back and look at it. God loved his wife enough to die for her, to set the purpose of from taking her from a whore to be a chaste virgin, to re-espouse her to her husband. But y'all wonder why men be like, man, we don't love these hoes and all that there, because nothing in the characteristic of a whore's woman is redeemable or valuable or desirable in a man's eyesight. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Titus 1:16. They profess that they know God, but in words they deny him, being abominable and disobedient under every good word reprobate. Y'all see what said in Matthew 23, the scribes and Pharisees sit at Moses' seat. He said, but do what they say, don't do what they do. He said, anything they tell you to do out this book, you do it. He said, but don't do it after they work, because he already told you, beware of the leaven of the scribes and Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Matthew 5:20. And that's what makes this last verse what we're about to read even more harder. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Praise ye y'all for Yahshua HaMashiach in the word. Y'all understood all this stuff this evening? Thank the Lord.